Exactly, that's how tournaments go. But now to our featured table players. We're live with a 30-minute delay. On seat 1, as you can see from dealer's left, is, and don't quote me on those names, it's Borislav Yosifov. It's a local player with 1.1 million in chips. He's in second place overall. He has got 45,000 in live earnings. Seems like quite a small to mid stakes grinder. Gets those consistent results in and is going for his biggest cash because first place in this one takes down 35,000 euros, which is quite a nice chunk of change. C2, we have Tihomir Ochkov, another local player with 830,000 chips. He has only one recorded cash and has already managed to pull out his biggest win ever, so definitely the farther he goes, the better his record is going to be. Seat 3, our only female player left is Eva Lazarova with 500,000 in chips. Another local player as well, biggest live scorer coming just a couple weeks ago with 5,000 euros, and what a story she has been. She has been the chip leader. She has been down to less than one big blind, then to another run at a chip leader, and she sits at 8th place at this moment. Seat 5, we have Simeon Spasov, another local player with another nice stack, 962,000 for him, biggest live score being 20,000, so definitely has some experience with those bigger size final tables before, as we see our first flop, which is King 9-4, Rainbow, and Dimitri Fomitsa, Estonian player, hits top pair, top kicker. Ochkov gets out flopped with his pair of fives, 133,000 in the middle. Expect to see a c-bet, and I'm not even, no, Fomitsa checked. Oh yeah, he just defended his big blind with ace-king offsuit. Ochkov c-bets for 70,000, fairly standard here. Semi-dry board, can get rid of a lot of hands that defend the big blinds, small aces, as well as some suited like 10-8 type hands, but this time it will not work. Do you agree with me?
Yes, I think...
and I like the just call from Dimitri Fomitsa here.
With the king, yeah, well, it's definitely encouraging his opponent to keep on going.
Exactly, he's going to call with most of everything he's going to just defend his big blind with. So if you're going to defend your big blind with a hand as strong as the ace-king, you have to kind of disguise it as well and just call. He does check the turn and gets a fast check behind with his pocket fives, doesn't need to or want to go for two streets, and now it's the time for Dimitri to start betting, I think.
I think that's right. He's he has to be fairly confident. He's ahead there, and he does bets, and...
He does bet 70,000, goes for a very small value bet, which... if there is a queen on the river, I mean, maybe even check instead of going for a small value bet, just because queen hits a lot of your queen 10, 10 jack, queen jack type of hands that you can check call with. So maybe just go for a check, try to represent something like a 9 or and get some bluffs from your opponents. But yeah, he does that.
That sounds like a very clever play to me, Christian. I have to say that sounds a bit complicated for my level.
Well,
I'm just betting that king there and honestly hoping, I suppose, not to get raised, because that's ugly.
Yeah, it's just when you bet there on the queen river, it's just you're trying to represent turning like a fourth pair into a bluff there, which I don't think many players do. So not a lot you can get value by, but it's still a fairly okay bet. My first instinct was to bet as well. It just took me a little while. I think blinds are 12,000 and 24,000 with 3k ante.
Sounds about right.
So, where was I? Seat 6 is a German grinder. Philip Anger, what a nice name, Anger.
It's a good poker name.
Yeah, good poker name, I agree. 386,000 for him, so 15 big blinds on the shortest size. Only one recorded prior score for him, and he has already managed to outdo this one, so going for his career record, but still has a lot of work to do. Seat 7, you already know him from last hand, Dimitri Fomitsa, 1.1 million. Second in chips for him, already guaranteed his biggest live score as well. Previous score coming from 2014 for about what was the buy-in for this event, so he's going for a run of his life as well.
Nice.
Especially with having a big stack. And of course, seat 9, who was already moved, is David Longmaid from UK. He was our shortest stack, but on the first hand, on our not featured on our outer table, we lost already a player, so we have 12 players remaining.
Boom, boom.
6 of which you can see here. So we're off to a bang. Very sneakily played Ace King by Dimitri from Estonia, my countrymate.
We might see some tricky action there if we've got Estonians.
Yeah.
You guys can be trouble. I've played against Estonians. You're hard work.
Well, we'll see. We'll see about that. At least what I've seen from now, Dimitri is doing good. Are you surprised by the fold by pocket 5, 6-handed?
I mean, I'm aggressive and loose enough that I probably wouldn't be folding it, but I've been learning from people better than me that perhaps I'm burning money doing that. I mean, I've seen we saw 6s folded under the gun last hand. We've seen 5s now. I mean, yeah, I find it a little bit nitty, but then look at that. There you go. Big blind's got 8, so the guy's psychic. Maybe he just he just saw through the back of the cards. But yeah, I think 6-handed. I'm kind of raising all my pairs really.
And what do you think about the call from pocket 8s? I mean, you have 20 big, more, 27, 26 big blinds. That's an awkward stack to play 8s with, but I kind of just want to go for it.
I would agree with that blind on blind. I
yeah.
mean, your opponent there on the small blind is opening so wide into you that I think with 8s you really, for
As
me,
you can see, King
you shove it and grit because you can get called by overcards and you have to take the race at some point.
For sure, and you take it down so many times as well. But flop comes Ace, 10, and a deuce. Pair of deuces for Yosifov, and Ochkov is left with a very weird looking pocket 8s. He does have the 8 of diamonds for the backdoor diamonds, but I think you have to call this one. You're gonna get at least once. You're gonna get a c-bet anyway. You slow bladed pre-flop. Just call and hope to see a check on a turn from your opponent, I guess, or a diamond. Diamond will do. Queen of diamonds is not his favorite card, though. I mean, you expect to be behind a lot of the time when you have pocket 8s here.
Yeah. I think I'd quite like to see a bet again from the small blind here. I mean, he really does have a very weak hand. He does have a possible draw, and I think he's got to keep the pressure on.
Yeah.
I mean, his opponent has signalled a stronger hand by just limping behind him, but what are you going to do on the river if you don't bet this turn, small blind?
I agree with you, and also that Queen of Diamonds is a very good card to continue bombing on. Of course, you would like to have like a King of Diamonds in your hand to just in case if you get caught, but still Queen of Diamonds is a scared card to a lot of Ochkov's holdings here, like a lot of 10s, a lot of hands that he does have small pairs. So why not just and if I want to see a bet, I want to see it on a bigger size just to get rid of those middling diamonds as well that don't really know what to do.
Well, we have seen the bet we both wanted.
So how much does it go for? I would like something like 140, 130k, and that's exactly what it goes for. Yeah, what a good sizing.
See, guys, this is why Estonians are hard to play against. Chris is just nailing the bet sizing.
His sizes up the river shove as well. So when you're Ochko, you can't be very comfortable calling this one because you can expect to get shoved on the rivers a lot of the times. And Yosifov gets Ochkov to fold here, and nice bit of aggression from him.
And it's like we said at the start of the hand, had our big blind friend there just shipped the lot pre-flop, it would have been shut down there. He takes the chips and game over. Yeah,
of course there is like final table dynamics coming into play. You're only 3 off the final table. Everybody wants to make it. As you've seen, a lot of these players have already made the biggest cash of their lives. The money champs are going to come in mind, and of course, I understand the carefulness of the players, but in poker, you have to just kind of...
Sure. You can't let careful be confused with fear.
Also, we have Twitch chat joining us. Welcome, everybody.
Hi, Donna. I see Dark Angel in the chat. My good friend Donna. Good afternoon to you, darling. I hope you're well.
Hello, Dark Angel. To you as well. Hello, Talkstyle69. Hello, the user. What a nice name for you. And of course, the Stay Hydrated bot. Hello to you as well.
That's a great name, Stay Hydrated bot. It's good advice as well. You know, the temperature's up. The summer heat is on. You got to drink them liquid. Yeah,
for sure, for sure. If you want to join in the conversation, we are streaming from twitch.tv/thrillofpoker. Of course, we're streaming to Facebook as well, but if you want to join in the conversation, just come to Twitch and we will try to respond and chat with you as much as possible. 3-2 offsuit, that's my hand.
Oh, Lordy.
That's my hand, that's my hand. Lazarova from the big blind.
I've seen a limp, actually. Is that right?
Yeah, the small blind limps with a king 4, so 2 different styles. Ochkov decides to just limp with his king 4. His opponent last hand, with a very similar looking hand, decided to
And his
make
Eva, she's up for it. She's up for it.
Look at Lazarova, just punishes him for the limp and takes it down with 3-2 offsuit.
Good girl. Go on.
Good job.
Nice. Now, someone's asked us a very sensible question there. King Jackoff, lol. What are the payouts?
What are
Do we know that? Are we slack? I mean, you did your research on the players. I've done nothing, and it's the result that we don't have the payouts.
All right, I'm going to go... they might be off a little bit, but all the players are guaranteed about 2,500 euros at this moment. First place takes down 35,000. So if you make the final table, you make something like 3,000. Then you go up to 4.4, 6, and so on, so on, so on. So what you need to know is the first place takes down 35k. This is what they're playing for. They're all guaranteed about 2,500 at this moment. The buy-in for this tournament was 550 euros. So
I've just tweeted our MPN PT Sunny Beach WhatsApp group, so somebody will bring us the payouts very shortly.
I hope so. I hope so. So we can tell you right after we got a little bit more information.
So we've already failed, Christian, basically, haven't we? We're already absolute failures.
Before I started today, I had a nightmare about starting this stream, and I was like properly scared because what I saw was that I started the stream off and I forgot about where I was and how English language worked. So I was it was like a real proper nightmare, and I was sweating and everything. And
wow.
So compared to this stream, I'm doing good. So I'm already proud of myself, but we have already failed. I expect to hear and see many more fails from us, I think. As experience showed, we are very unprofessional professionals.
We are very unprofessional professionals, but we're so good at it.
We're so good at it.
So we've got somebody asking, the user's asking us about the cards. It's an RFID table, so the cards have identification marks and they are read by cunning technology. I appreciate what you're saying there. It's not fair to put the chip in. People can know. There is only one person who has access to that. It's a lovely lady called Mary. It's an entirely encrypted, enclosed system, and it would be very difficult for someone to know the cards. I mean, you have to trust some people at some point. We trust our tournament directors to manage the security of the chips. We trust the cashiers not to steal the money. So, you know, tournament poker is based on trust. That said, we do keep it very secure. So there is only one person who knows. She's very carefully monitored. She's on camera, in fact. She would be just off there, so she's on security camera. And people just won't share that information. The same as the tournament director doesn't steal the chips and the cashier's not on holiday in the Bahamas with the tournament money.
Basically what she said, only with one little thing, even Mary doesn't know the cards.
Oh, really?
No, she can't see the cards. She only sees them as we see them, or later on, as everybody on the table sees them as well.
So she just sees
can only
if they're
track
registering,
the action. Yeah, exactly.
Right,
she can only see if the cards register, but no one actually has the information about the whole cards
there you go.
live. Only way to see them is to watch a stream, or if you're a director, way behind the scenes somewhere.
Or be a player.
Or be a player, exactly. So
yeah,
it's
we take
very
it very
secure.
serious.
Yeah, very, very super secure.
We may be a low-stakes fun tour, but we operate with the same machinery, the same equipment, and the same standard of team as the highest buy-in tours.
Absolutely, so. Absolutely.
As I say that, I noticed that Heimar's missing 2 buttons on his laptop keyboard, so we'll just forget what I said there.
Heimar, of course, being our producer. And, yeah, very professional stuff here. King Jack offsuit from under the gun for Yosifov.
I feel like he's opening. Having seen him play the King Deuce pot, I feel like he's going to be playing six-handed.
Exactly. He's been off to a fairly decent start. He's been adding like a couple 100,000 chips to his stack, and he has shown some aggressiveness already, so why not see him raise? And he does raise up to 50,000, like the sizing. Over to Spazzo with ace-10 suited, and a decent looking stack as well. I expect him to just call here or 3-bet even. Yeah, it plays fairly fine in position. especially being suited. But of course, 3-bet is very standard here. Get rid of some of the ace-jack offsuits, king-jack offsuits, something like that. He does just call plays for the value of the hand.
Yeah, I do have a bad habit of just kind of pinning players quite quickly. So if I say, okay, he's an aggressive player, then I'm like, right, well, I'm gonna make you play. Especially with a hand as good as Ace-10 against someone you think is probably playing a reasonable range, but that makes it quite a wide range, six-handed.
Exactly, and what do you want to do when you have like king-jack offsuit out of position against the 3-bet? There's not much you can do. No. So 7-8 and a 10. 2 hearts on the flops, 7-8 and a queen, sorry. And Dimitri comes in with his queen 5 suited and flops a pair of queens already.
And that's the other problem for just limping with a hand as good as Ace-10 there. You do give that big blind so many opportunities with such a wide range, because at that point he's calling probably 6-1 is his odds with the antes at this stage.
So. He definitely has to call with almost everything. Definitely all the suited hands and everything that is not like deuce 9 offsuit or whatever, because you're getting such good odds.
Yeah, I'm mentally lazy. I prefer to just shut the pots down, put the chips in my stack, and move on to the next deal.
I think that's a very smart way to approach the game. But it is Spasov who leads out for 65,000, having it been checked to him with his Ace-10, which I do not like at all. This flop hits both of these players very well, actually, and you don't have any backdoors to pack you up as well.
Well, a backdoor straight, I suppose.
Yeah, for the lousy 10 of clubs.
But it's very, very skinny.
He does get a call and the check from, and now at third heart, so if there's ever a card to continue betting on, that would be it. But he does check, and now king of spades. Let's see what happens, because I think Dimitri is never gonna bet this river himself. He's gonna check, and let's see if Spasov gonna bomb this one.
Yeah, he's in an ugly spot. I mean, he can't really believe, if he's got a call from the big blind there, he can't really believe ace high is good. So he may think, I need to take a shot at this to try and get rid of 7s, 8s, pocket 4s, pocket 5s that may have hung around.
Definitely.
I don't expect him to believe he would bluff a queen off, and unfortunately his opponent does have a queen.
But yeah, his opponent does have a queen, but at the same time, Fomica here, he has a lot of 7s or 8s or like straight draws that missed, and so against these hands,
yeah, I think
against all of his range, I really would like to see it. I mean, that's a perfect river for you, but
I think once you bet the flop as well, and got a call, I think that's one of those rivers you have to bluff. And I'm not a big bluffer. I hate bluffing. It's far too much hard work. You can build up a sweat, you know. But it's got to be done sometimes.
Which is why you don't just bet flop. You just check it and hope for the best if you don't have a plan for the hand. Anyway, I mean, betting such a small amount there, expecting to get just folds is, I think it's not the best plan. Because there are so many hands that will call you, or worse hands that will end up bluffing you out if you just give up on the hand. So I think, yeah, decently played from Fomica, and maybe needs a little bit more thought with Ace-10 from his opponent there.
Still, we've all done it, where we've called a small open pre-flop with nice looking cards and got ourselves into a position where we've got sexy looking cards that have got no relation to the board we're looking at, and it hurts, and you kind of don't, sometimes you don't want to give it up. You're like, but I probably had the best hand pre-flop, and why has it gone like this?
Exactly, that's what happens every time. At least like mentally it happens to you when you just call with a very good looking hand, and you're like, now it didn't work out, I didn't hit it, but I'm kind of married to the hand because I just called pre-flop, so why not continue and give up some money that I would have gave up anyway had I
But then you get dealt pocket 10s next hand, Christian, and suddenly the world looks a little bit more rosy.
That's how poker works. I mean, you just, when things doesn't work out, expect to see pocket 10s next hand. That's how you make final tables. He does raise it up to 50k and only gets the blinds and antes. Unfortunately for him, doesn't get any callers. Hello, Grizzy. Hello, Germany. Hello, hello everybody who is joining us here at twitch.tv/thrillerpoker.
Hi, guys.
We are live with a 30-minute delay from sunny beach, Bulgaria.
The
Beautiful.
Platinum Casino.
Platinum Casino.
It's a lovely place.
Exactly, it is a lovely place.
We're right outside a tattoo parlour, which I'm just going to tell everyone on Twitch that on Thursday night we had a few beers. Christian went to the toilet and came back with a tattoo. that is literally what happened. I'm not even dramatising that story at all.
I wish I could like say something good about it, but that's exactly how it happened.
I think it's really cool.
Yeah, but I'm still not regretting it. I love this tattoo. It's a small little 4 letters that I really wanted to do anyway. So why not do it on my bathroom break during nightly beers?
So I'm thinking I might get a tattoo as well. So if Twitch chat have got any ideas, it'd be my first tattoo. I'm a tattoo virgin, so I'm very scared. But if anyone in Twitch has got a good idea, let's hear it now.
Ah, yes, please Twitch chat. This is a challenge for you.
If I really like it, I will genuinely get it. I don't want it too big, and I probably want it related to kind of poker or something like that. So give me some ideas, and because I'm not artistic, so send me some pictures on Twitter, and if you've got any plans, I'll probably get it done.
This is your chance to do something legendary. So all your suggestions are welcome here at Twitch chat. So if Kat likes it, as she said, she's gonna tattoo it forever. Forever and ever. And it's going to be her first tattoo as well. How about a red cat? What do you think about that?
How red cat? Yeah, that would be quite good. Hi, Julie. Why are you not with us, Julie? Where are you? We're missing Julie Wentworth, a stalwart of the MPN PT Tour. Hang on, that's too many tours. There's too many letters in this. Way too many letters for a Sunday afternoon. Julie, we miss you, my friend. We miss you. You always bring sunshine. We've already got quite a lot of sunshine. So what are we happening here?
I'm being mesmerized by Ochkov's hands. He has got so big hands. I don't know if I'm supposed to comment on that, but look at those hands. I mean, these are bigger than my feet. Again, you always have some like strong guy at the poker table. All those different people.
I don't know what to say about that, really. I'm not sure there's a way out of this conversation that is not
I'm already
socially
blushing.
awkward.
I already know I've turned it awkward.
He's got lovely, lovely man hands.
Yeah, very manly
don't know
hands.
what else to say.
I'm kind of like obsessed with man hands because I don't have man hands.
Let's have a look. Oh, you do? You know, you've got lovely little lady hands. Look at those.
Exactly.
This has taken a really weird turn, guys, and we've not even been live for half an hour. So settle in for the afternoon with Christian and Kat, and you may need some therapy. We take no legal responsibility for therapy costs arising as a result of this stream. Yeah,
moving on. Ace 10-10 on a flop with 2 hearts.
Indeed. He may have big actual hands, but he never actually has any cards in terms of hands, and yet he keeps winning pots. So
he is still ahead with his King 3, though. And the user says that Spasov from our table is an online crusher, so I'm going to take you on your word and believe you on that. Let's see how he plays as well, but I think from what we have seen, it's been good up until this point. We haven't played much, though.
He got his money back there, didn't he, a little bit from the 8s that I'm terrible with names today, Yosifov made him fold.
Look at those Bulgarian flags. Bulgarians have been doing good here at their local event. Bulgaria is so nice. I mean, I think this has been, if not the favorite, one of the favorite stops I've ever been to. It's been just lovely.
Yeah, it's good. What I quite like about the MPN is they're all a bit different, really. You go a different place, you get a different experience. Like this venue was actually excellent for families. I mean, this is one of the places, if you're a poker player and you want to travel with your partner and your children, this will be an excellent venue. The Hotel Weller is definitely geared up for families, so it's been nice.
So what do you think about this tattoo? A tattoo of a black pocket kings, and the flop is a red ace 4-5.
Great. So I'm going to be on monkey tilt the minute I look at my naked body in the
so
morning.
You're going to be on a constant tilt all the time.
Yeah, no, that is way too tilting.
Okay, so
no tilt tattoos. I can't cope with that.
Fold it around to, I think it was Philip Anger from Germany. P. Anger.
P. Anger is just a great name.
Yeah. And Spasov,
what are you thinking about folding aces 6-handed? Am I just too loose? Am I some kind of hyper agromaniac that I'd be opening pretty much every ace 6-handed?
Yes, I mean, not under the gun. I mean, I don't want to open it. It depends on the table dynamic, but definitely don't want to be raising under the gun every single aces. I want to be raising every single suited aces for sure.
Okay.
But especially here, I don't think we've seen any 3-bets or 4-bets.
No, but this is what I
so-
mean. They seem to be fairly gentle.
Yeah.
Six-handed, I don't know. Maybe I need to
I-
look. I don't play a
no,
lot of
no, no.
six-handed. I tend to play more full ring. And I guess when you're generally a full ring player, you get to a six-handed table and you're like, woohoo, I
Yeah.
can play everything.
That's true.
So
that's
maybe
true.
there's an element of that in my mind. But like you say, with no 3-bets, no 4-bets, come on, AC.
Let's see, another ace-2 self-suit from Spasov from under the gun.
And
He lets it
likes
go.
you,
The
yeah.
online crusher
He went
does
to the
not
same
agree
school
with
as
you.
you do. Yeah.
Over the phone.
7 deuce, 8
But
deuce.
this
yeah.
is where, well, you have to raise here. It's folded to you in the button, ace-8 offsuit. Life doesn't get much better.
No, I think we can almost guarantee a raise from Yosifov here, having seen him play his blind on blind, the way he played the king deuce against a gentleman who's in seat 2.
Yeah,
Terrible
yeah,
with names,
mhm.
sorry.
It's going to take a while to remember.
Yeah, they
all
sink
the
in
names.
eventually, yeah.
I think it was Ochkov.
Ochkov, very. You think it was? Don't try and blag that. It came up on the screen. We can all see the screen, Christian. Who are you trying to fool? Honestly.
I was trying to slip through here.
No, you were trying to mansplain with technology helping you, and you're so busted. Oh my word.
Ah, I can't get away with anything.
No, you can't.
nowadays.
Oh, are we? No. I was
I think we're gonna see
waiting for some more action out of Eva, thinking yes, she's my girl. She's like me. Raise every hand.
How do you play those hands, like 10-9 suited from the small blind?
I would have with an open and from the button and a limp from the small. I actually would have raised that from the big blind, the 9-10. Oh, I'm sorry.
I
No,
mean-
it's Ochkov who's got 9-10. No, okay,
Yeah.
I flat king 9 there as well. I think that's fair.
Okay,
I
but
might
what do you
have
think
risen-
about the 9-10 on the small blind?
Yeah, I might have had a
Yeah.
little 3-bet there
Yeah.
again because of
What a
what we're
perfect hand
saying.
to do it
There's
with.
not a lot of 3-bet. There's not a lot of 4 betting.
Of course, his chip stack is like something about 20 big blinds, which might not be a bad thing. Put a 3-bet
in.
to like 150,000 or
Oh,
something,
really?
and just maybe even fold, because I don't
Fair
think
enough.
Yosifov is gonna like randomly 4-bet shove against the short stack 3-betting him.
No, it's a good point. That's a good point.
But he does flop a pair of 9s, and which
No,
might
see,
be
I think
trouble
it's
for
Eva
him.
who's. Oh, I see. Yeah,
Lazarova
absolutely.
has
Yeah.
another pair of 9s with a better kicker as well. With there being so many draws in there, this might even go in. Let's see what happens here.
Yikes.
Yosifov even comes along with his backdoor flush and a straight draw gutshot. Needs a 7 to hit a straight, and running hearts as well as ace might be good there. So definitely good enough to call there. But what will Ochkov do there?
It's ugly for him, isn't it? I mean,
You might even see a shove here. There's 300k in the middle. You have top pair. You're
But
not
if it- I
really
mean, what's
blocking
he-
any draws.
if he's shoving for value with 9-10 there, and obviously some clear equity protection, what is he hoping to get called by, really?
I mean,
That's
there's already
very
300k
awkward
in the
spot,
middle.
isn't it?
There's so many draws you want to get rid of. Maybe you can get, because when you call there, what do you hope to see on a turn
Yeah, it's
besides
just
9 or
it's
10?
ugly.
Because there's so many bad cards for you. You're out of position against both of these players.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a bad situation, and you don't really want to fold. I mean, I guess you're risking 550,000 to win 300k immediately, and as well as you might sometimes get called from 2 overcards and a flush draw, or maybe even something like a7 of hearts. So, and sometimes players go crazy with something like 6-7 with a 7 of hearts, or I don't know. I think there's so much dead money in there. It's a weird situation. I really want to.
But we're back to what we were saying before. He doesn't have any of these problems if he's just 3-bet his hand pre-flop.
Yeah.
King 9 is definitely out, and I think it's even unlikely he gets called by ace-8, and I don't think ace-8 can 4-bet him like you said.
So having hit 2 pair on a turn, Lazarova feels comfortable enough to put in another bet of 165k. Very strong looking bet, leaving herself only with 221k behind. And now what do you do when you watch go? I guess you fold. You don't really.
Yep, side fold. It's got to be really side fold, and wish you 3-bet.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. And then go and look at your massive hands and say, well, at least I've got
At
massive
least I
hands.
got massive.
Yeah, I've got great biceps and big manly hands. I say it to myself all the time.
Stop it. You're not gonna let that one go.
I don't believe he's even dramaing here. Honestly, I believe
No.
he's really his
Of
soul
course.
is twisting and
I would be dying at. I mean, I wouldn't know what to do. If I see the cards, I don't know what to do. On the flop, pre-flop, I guess, yeah, you can call or 3-bet, but you just let it go. Good fold from him.
It's a good fold.
Yeah.
It is a good fold.
He was way behind, had no outs, but it's very tough to know that.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's tricky when you're the small blind is there, because they just can have such a wide range of cards when there's been an open from the button and a flat from the small. You know, it's what we were saying before. So I think he was wise to get away from that, really.
Yeah, and which is why you have to play your draws aggressive as well, because people will end up folding those top pairs or second pairs and so on. So if you're going to play your strong hands that strong, might as well, like, let's say if Lazarova had something like, I don't know, Queen 10 of hearts there, she would have won this pot there playing it aggressively.
That is a good point.
Yeah. So Spasov's star's name is Psyche86, if anyone is interested. What do you think, what year he was born in? Do you have any, like, random ideas?
1886. That's why he's so good at poker.
I think so. He has so much
Yeah.
experience playing poker. Yeah, I would go with the same.
Adjusting your dress there, Eva. I know the story. It's very difficult to be a lady. You wear nice dresses at the poker table. You've got to keep track of the fabric.
Anger down to 305,000 now. And
I mean,
pocket fours under the gun, I guess.
I'm getting this in.
Yeah,
personally.
this is going to go in.
Is this just me being fishy
no,
again?
there's
You
nothing
know?
to
Just
wait
boom it
for.
in.
There's still 12 players left. You need to get something moving. Even if you double up, you're still one of the shortest stacks. So you have to take your chances there.
Yeah,
and
you do have to punt really. And sometimes it's a crazy situation, but sometimes you can genuinely get like sixes or sevens to fold there. I mean, probably
Yeah, for sure.
not the person closing the action. And he would have got it in. He would have been on the right side of a race here had he done it.
Ochkov would have called. Ochkov is gonna look to get it in as well. Let's see how what route he takes. He's gonna raise and hope someone just jams it after him. Wakes up with something like ace jack, ace queen, but it doesn't look like
Nil point, nil point.
nobody finds anything. Spasov is still thinking about it. 10-3 is one of those hands you can fold there. I'm very much of an advocate of calling almost anything in a big blind, especially with there being antes, and you getting 3-1, but 10-3 is just
So when you
garbage of
say
hands.
almost anything, I mean, what of all the starting hands, what kind of percentage of starting hands are you saying it's worth limping to a min raise? Say especially from late position, so cut off or button.
I think even against the button, I would definitely call close to like 80% of your hands. Yeah, there are like very few hands that you don't want to be calling with.
Crikey. So I mean, that really is just knocking out your off-suited absolute rags. So like the queen deuces,
yeah, exactly.
king deuces.
I think I'm calling.
10-3s,
I'm calling
9-4s.
king deuce offsuit as well. Definitely.
Wow.
Even for the high card value, I think that's one of the that goes into that range I'm calling with. But yeah, I think you're leaving out something like deuce 3, deuce 4 offsuit. Obviously, I mean, I think and 9-3, 7-2s, and so hands that don't connect at all. Yeah, because you're getting such good odds. I mean. And the meta right now at poker is people don't really do those. They tend to keep the pot smaller, and more often than not, you get to see the turns and rivers with your hands. So
yeah, I don't know what poker you're playing, but
you can realize your equity.
Last night, I saw several pots that were 400 big blind pots all in pre-flop, and no one had a pair. So I mean, I don't know what small ball poker, high stakes, pro level you're at, but us low stakes crazies, we love to get it in, man. Well, you know, come on.
Yeah, that's true. But as we've seen here as well, when there are cameras on you, that kind of comes into mind as well, and people tend to like be a little bit more tighter or like more safe with their plays.
Anger.
Anger does find pocket sevens, and let's see if Yosifov calls this one. It's about 25% of his remaining stack. He's getting all right odds, but 10 check offsuit is exactly on that line where you don't want to be calling with, and he does fold it. I mean.
No, I think Anger, he had just enough fold equity there,
yeah,
didn't
exactly.
he? Which he probably didn't want, actually. he could have, he probably wanted a call there, which is unfortunate. But had it been 10 bigs, I think by that point you're committed, aren't you,
exactly.
really? But with 15 on top, he can get rid.
And Philip Anger is up to 382. Finally gets something going. Waited for pocket sevens. I mean, what I personally prefer going all in with pocket fours with 12 big blinds, having been the first one into the pot, than going all in with pocket sevens, having it already been raised in front of you. Of course, I'm going all in with pocket sevens anyway, but I feel better about my hand when I have to just shove into players without there being any action in front of me. Because, I mean, when somebody raises, they're at least representing a hand that they can call with. So,
well, you'd think, wouldn't you? I mean, that's definitely the impression they're giving. And he may have exposed himself a little bit there by opening and folding to such a short stack. For me, that would definitely be a flag. I would be, if I was a short stack, I'd now be more comfortable taking looser spots against him because, like you say, when you open like that, the short stack should feel scared.
Yeah,
about
exactly. They should feel very
bits.
uncomfortable about doing that.
So he may not next time.
Lazarova folds ace-6 offsuit from the cutoff.
That surprises me, actually, having seen her raise when she there were 2 callers to her big blind and she raised with 3 deuce. But I don't know, maybe a little bit of intuition there. She just didn't fancy it. Why not?
I guess so.
Her money, her cards.
And Dimitri gets a walk there and adds another small pot to his already quite a nice stack of 1.4 million. So good job.
Doesn't matter how many chips you have, does it, Christian? A walk is always a nice feeling.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Unless
as long as you don't
aces.
watch your cards after that, because then you're
Yeah, that's a good
negatively
point.
free rolling yourself. Do you do it?
Well, I'm mainly an online player, so I'm kind of forced to do it. But
yeah.
yeah, I'm a masochist, so even in live poker. And then at least I get to have a little angry rant. If I have aces, I can throw them face up and throw my
Exactly,
hands
and show
in
everybody,
the air
and everybody will laugh.
and go, oh, I run so bad, and knock someone's beer over. Yeah, something like that. I have a whole story playing out in my head here.
Yeah, I do it myself as well, so.
Now, we saw players there sort of peering over to the other table. That may indicate an elimination, or at least an all-in, or...
Ooh, nice.
Everyone's very interested, aren't they, at this stage on what's happening on the other table? Because at this point, I mean, we will get you the payout shortly. We're being ignored by the rest of the media team. They stick us in an office out the back. They
Pretty much.
Yeah, they don't care about us anymore. But whatever, the jumps are going to be significant at this point. So even someone else being eliminated, even if you haven't played a hand, you can still just make money sitting there.
Of course. And that's an interesting factor about tournament poker, that you don't have to play hands at some point to actually make a lot of money in terms of buy-in. So especially, we're going to see it especially at the final table, where players are looking forward to just ladder and ladder the chip and the payouts.
I'm wondering if there's a much shorter stack on the other table, because Pianga, just my favourite name ever in poker, he seems to be very interested. I'm noticing looking across like every 2 or 3 seconds. So he may be being a little bit more nitty than we would expect on that basis.
And maybe that's the reason why Lazarova folded as well. Look at her. She's also glancing over to the other table. And, of course, we will know when we are hand by hand, which will happen when there's 10 players left. So we still have at least 11 players left. But we're getting ever closer to that final table, of course.
And that's always an exciting feeling. I love it when you go to final table, even if I'm the short stack and I
love it.
I have the most work to do and the least advantage. I still get excited. I love sitting down at final table, and everyone looks at you as well. Like,
of
ooh,
course.
look, ooh, the final table.
And we already have like a small gallery showing up next to our. We don't see it right now at our feature table, but we had like 10 people at least looking at the players, and we haven't even reached the final table yet. And it's still very much daytime here at Bulgaria, and people, they tend to like the sun and the beach. Beach is like 20 meters from here.
I know. So in the break in my tournament last night, I went out the front of the casino and paddled in the sea.
Yeah.
It was excellent. I've never done that before in a poker tournament. Just have a little mince around in the sea during the dinner break.
Just fantastic.
Yeah,
you just
really
go out
good.
and you're straight at the sea and the beach. So nice, and the water is so warm.
Oh yeah, it is lovely. It's like a bath.
Yeah,
Like a baby's bath.
Yeah, exactly.
See, okay, fine. She's going to fold it because there's a short stack at the other table. That's a reason. But if this was the final and she, I'd still want to see her raise six-handed. I can't let it go. I don't even care if the online crushers tell me I'm wrong. Take my money and let me play my game.
Yeah, I'm not an online crusher by any means, but I still disagree with you there. Not strongly. I do like the aggressiveness. I think always the aggressive route is way better than the passive route. But I think I think against very good opponents, you don't want to be doing that because they will end up 3-betting you at some point.
Oh, that's fair enough. Yeah, I mean, but I don't play world-class players generally. Why would I? That doesn't seem like good sense to me. I like low-stakes poker, and it's more
there
fun.
It works,
People
I guess.
drunk.
Yeah, I guess so.
And as well, I know this is a little bit sexist, and I'm waiting for the boys in the Twitch chat to go crazy at me, but when you are a girl, I do believe in something called breast equity. And generally, men do expect you to be tighter. If they haven't seen any evidence to the contrary, they're kind of auto-readers that you are at the nitty end of the scale. So I do feel maybe I'm spoilt, that my raises get a bit more respect than they should, purely because I'm a girl and I can't be bluffing. I've always got aces.
I guess you know what you're talking about because yeah, I believe you. I believe you. Why not? Even the better players, they tend to like jump into conclusions way too often, and but that's the part about poker as well. I mean, it's a game of very inadequate information, so you have to take what you know and just go from there. And if the only information you have about a player is that she's a female, and maybe in a sexist way now females tend to play tighter, then that I don't know if it's a fair thing to expect or not, but at least I can see the reasoning behind it at some cases.
Now this is interesting because we've seen the bet on the flop from Ochkov there with Queen High, and then a call with King High. I mean, I like it. I just didn't expect it so much, really. That's lovely.
Yeah, that's interesting to me as well. I guess they're both playing to their backdoors. Both have backdoor straights and backdoor flushes. And the Ace of Hearts is an awful card for both of them. So let's see if who ends up bluffing here. And Yosifov goes for a very small bet as well.
Wow, that's a weird one because he didn't raise pre. So I would say there's so many aces in his range as there would be had he raised pre.
And look at that, Yosifov out aggroes Ochkov one more time.
Bluffing with the best hand.
Bluffing
that
with
was
the best
King
hand.
High.
Yeah.
Wow, okay, well played.
And I really like the small sizings as well. No, these are not single players. These players have all paid or satellited into this 550 euro event, playing for 35,000. So definitely some. I mean, I really like this play. I mean, I liked it from both sides. You can sometimes just float with your backdoors and just maybe hope that your opponent shuts down, which is a reasonable thing to think, because just the Ace of Hearts was the perfect card to continue betting on with the smaller sizings. Because if your opponent has like something like, let's say, a 6, you have at least 2 overcards against that. You're giving yourself all right odds. If your opponent has something that he did have, some random float, you can get rid of that. And there are some hands that call you that you're ahead against something like 8-9, 9-7, 7-8.
That was interesting.
Very interesting hand. I agree with you.
I am starting to wonder if Ochkov is feeling a little bit pushed around. He's had a bad kind of run of losing pots. Now we can see. I don't think he's really done very much wrong. He got bullied a little bit by
with his
in
pocket
the big
eights.
blow with the pocket eights, but otherwise he's not really done anything wrong. But sometimes when you're sat there and you keep being the guy who has to give the pot up, it can start to wear on you a little bit because he doesn't know. If he came in here and he had a quick look at the stream and saw, he'd be like, okay, maybe I'm fine.
But for him, it might look like he's being pushed around. Especially again, you don't want to be pushed around from somebody on your right as well. Even if it's a big stack. I mean, you have position against that player, and that's someone you want to take chips from. And it looks like we are hand.